Tony, I want to kick it off with you. What does this deal solidify specifically and mean for shipbuilding here in the U.S.? What does it mean for you, for the two companies, but what does it mean for maybe shipbuilding more broadly here in the United States?
Yeah, so we're very proud of the partnership here with HD Hyundai, and a big part of that was how do they move faster? How do they build ships faster? How do they design, engineer, and manufacture faster? And so what our software is we provide the tools that allow you to do that. And so when you think about then advancement of shipbuilding here in the U.S., part of the announcement today between the U.S. and Korean governments is how do we promote more of that commercial shipbuilding here in the U.S. And our tools are the tools that help you do that, to help you go a lot faster, to create that digital environment to be able to produce, manufacture, and engineer. So it's something that's a key enabler to be able to promote this business here in the U.S.
Sek Hwan, I want to talk to you about what it takes to actually build a ship in a sustainable way here in the U.S. rather than in another part of the world. Specifically with a deal such as this, how do you pencil it out and make the numbers work for you and for Hyundai?
Well, we see great momentum from the Hill and the strong leadership from the U.S. administration. But at the same time, when it comes to the reality and the day-to-day operation, there are many challenges. One of the great challenges that we are facing here in the United States would be a shortage of labor, especially the skilled labor. And what the digitalization, the digital shipyard that we are building together with Siemens do in that relation is to create a virtual 3D type digital shipyard where everything is connected. All information come together, and by that we make a better decision and optimize our resources. Better. In that way, we think that it will enable us to faster automation and digitalization and AI empowerment. In that, we can solve the labor issue here, and that would be a powerful tool to have here.
So, Sek Hwan, let me just follow up on that. So, how much can a digital shipyard basically reduce construction time for, let's say, a destroyer, a submarine, or an auxiliary ship?
Oh, that's a great question. We don't gauge the success of the digital shipyard thing in terms of the time that we reduce. What we focus more is whether. Well, let me put it this way. We believe with this digital tool, on time and on budget delivery will be possible in a more efficient way. So we try to reduce the time, but more focus, I would say, for now, is to keep the time and the labor force ready for that on-time delivery.
Yeah, Tony, that's a good question to you too, and about this labor force and the way that digital tools, in your view, are offsetting some of the challenges that the U.S. industrial base has, or the U.S. labor force has here. Given the shortages of welders, how much can these digital tools offset that shortage of skilled welders, pipe fitters, and electricians?
Yeah, I guess I'd first start, though, with just the design, right? And that
before we even get to the actual labor that it takes to physically build this.
Right, because you've got to get the design right, you've got to get the engineering right, the physics right of the product. And we talk about this as a digital twin. And the idea of the digital twin is how closely the digital world can represent the real world. And the closer we can make that relationship, the faster companies like HD Hyundai can go. Because you think about these products, they're highly complex. You've got software, you've got mechanical design, electronics, electrical, manufacturing, engineering, the plant layout, plant simulation, all of these things. If we can simulate that, this is a very complex environment. The complexity is not going to go away. But if I can simulate it and I can do what ifs and make changes and other types of things, that allows me to go a lot quicker. And once I do all of that, then it comes to what do I do with welding? What do I do with the simulation of what happens in the plant? We bring all that together. And this is where you really start to get the value of what our software can deliver. Because now I can make these decisions in confidence in a very complex world. And that's truly a competitive advantage. If I can simulate and do all of that work much faster than the next guy, It's a big advantage. And so we take that, and then also these tools are enabled for the workers. They can use these tools. We can simulate what the workers are going to do. We can show them how to perform the work, to provide the work instructions, all of these types of things. So it's really assisting what's going on, as well as programming the robots, simulating the robotic simulation. All of that is part of our software.
So, Sek Hwan, let me go back to you then. So I get it, like the timing, and it sounds like things will be much faster. So give us an idea. I want to go back to so how does this change output? Can you give us some kind of, we're into numbers here, some context in terms of 6 months, what gets changed, 12 months? Like give us an idea of how output is changed, especially when you've got a president who we're monitoring right now and talking about data centers and so on and so forth and power, but also thinking about shipbuilding, which he has talked about, and increasing that. Because many people have said you can't do this quickly in terms of the U.S. shipbuilding industry, change it and increase it. It doesn't happen overnight.
Well, the current timeline that we have in mind is to be able to apply this digital shipyard concept to our starting the design in 2028. But that will be the starting point in reality, and it will take some more time to develop a program to cover the whole shipyard and the whole the entire ships that we built in our yard.
Well, and then, so, I want to bring you back here in on this conversation, Tony, when it comes to timelines. Like, what's the timeline on you on how the pressure, the demands on you guys in terms of delivering the software and the changes that are need to kind of basically modernize the shipbuilding industry here in the United States?
Yeah, the software is here and proven now. It's established. So we have software. We sell the software all the time. The work is for us to integrate that into the workflows and the way that HD Hyundai works, for example, and how they design. And we do a lot of this all over the globe. Most manufacturing and engineering companies in the world use some portion of our software. And so we have what we call a digital thread. The idea is, how do you get from point A to point B in a design process? Like you mentioned things like sustainability or whatever it might be. We can simulate, for example, that ship flowing through the water and the resistance of the water at the same time, the resistance of the airflow in the ship as it's going with computational fluid dynamics. From that, we can determine how efficient we can make the product, how we can reduce energy, how we can lightweight the product. So we have all of these processes established. And now what we do is we sit with HD Hyundai and establish them in their workflows. And this is work we've started already. So we feel very confident that we can go very quickly in the design, engineering, and manufacturing process. Of course, building out some of the work in the plants takes a little bit longer to what we're doing, but the software is ready to go now.
Right. So you guys are ready to go. It's just a case of integrating all of this into the existing systems.